India at present generates the most waste globally, and that is expected to increase substantially by 2050 unless urgent measures are not taken. The more than 1.3 billion people in India generate the highest amount of waste in the world. That's more than even China, the most populous country, but the per person waste generated by both India and China at present is a small fraction of that by developed countries. However, by 2050, that could change as India is projected to produce substantially more waste, whereas growth in China's waste generation will be much slower. India generates the most waste globally, says World Bank. Every year, 2.01 billion tons of municipal waste is generated worldwide every year. This is projected to increase by 70% to reach 3.4 billion tons by 2050 due to rapid urbanization, population growth, and economic development unless urgent measures are not taken. Currently, based on calculations by the World Bank, India is the largest producer of waste, owing largely to the size of its population. According to Central Pollution Control Board report, India generates plastic waste of amount 25,940 tons per day. The uncollected plastic waste is about 40% of the total amount plastic waste generated, that is 10,376 tons per day. And the collected amount of plastic waste, that is 60% of the total plastic waste generated per day, that is 15,564 tons per day. The waste generation is alarming. So we'll have to understand how to minimize the waste and how to manage the waste. This is the basic fundamentals we'll have to understand first to conserve the nature. The huge amount of solid waste produced in India calls attention to the need for devising proper and effective methods of waste management practices. This video will give you the basic insights of solid waste management. Knowledge School presents In the Search for Waste-Free World. Who is responsible for producing inorganic waste? Who is responsible for greenhouse gas emissions and polluting the environment? Who is responsible for destroying the environmental balance for the sake of luxury and comfort? The answer is human. Let us know the types of waste produced by human. Only human being in the world generates different kinds of waste which badly affects our environment. The municipal solid waste can mainly classified as organic or biodegradable waste, inorganic waste or non-biodegradable waste, electronic waste, hazardous waste, sanitary waste. The biodegradable waste or the organic waste means any organic material that can be degraded by microorganisms into simpler stable components. The examples are the skins of fruits and vegetables, eggshells, dead bodies of domestic animals, bones of edible fish and meat, food leftovers, unnecessary papers, paper bags, tea leaves, etc. Non-biodegradable or inorganic waste. Non-biodegradable waste means any solid waste that cannot be degraded by microorganisms into simpler, stable compounds. The examples are the tires, polythene bags, toys, utensils, bottles made by plastic, bottles and other objects made by glass, discarded leather goods like shoes, belts, plastic containers and wrappers for various food, cans and other metal objects made by tin and aluminum, objects made of cardboard and plastic wrapper of medicine. Electronic waste. Let us go through the examples. The discarded part of the computer like central processing unit, keyboard, hard disk, old and damaged fridge, washing machine, clock, camera, telephones, various kinds of wires, cables and old switchboard, electronic machineries of the industries and factories, entertainment items like TV, DVD, CD drive, sound system, medical equipment like ECG, X-ray, ultrasound machine, etc. Hazardous waste. The examples are various chemicals and acids used in industries and factories, many harmful and poisonous waste of hospitals, some explosive like lithium sulfur battery, some combustible materials like alcohol, gasoline, etc., various types of discarded batteries, radioactive waste, waste from petrochemical industry, abandoned gas cylinders. Sanitary waste. Sanitary waste means comprising of used diapers, sanitary towels or napkins, tampons, condoms, incontinence sheets and any other similar waste. The examples can be seen are waste from washrooms and toilets, cotton and bandages used in hospitals, water used for washing clothes, disposable masks, nappies and sanitary pads, wasted water for housekeeping, water used to clean pet animals, napkins used in restaurants. The municipal solid waste can mainly be classified as biodegradable waste, non-biodegradable waste, hazardous waste, sanitary waste, electronic waste. Now to reduce the waste, we'll have to follow the 3R rules. Basically, the 3R reduce, reuse, recycle concept is a sequence of steps and how to manage the waste properly. The top priority is reduce, which is to reduce waste generation, then reuse and then recycle to give waste materials a second chance before disposing them to the landfill. So reduce waste, reuse waste and recycle waste. What is reduce waste? Waste reduction or prevention is the preferred approach to waste management because waste that never gets created does not have waste management costs. An example of waste reduction is reducing unnecessary packaging from manufactured products and produce. Reuse waste. Reuse provides an excellent environmentally preferred alternative to other waste management methods because it reduces air, water and land pollution, limits the need for new natural resources such as timber, petroleum, fibers and other materials. Recycling. Recycling is the process of converting waste materials into new materials and objects. Recycling can prevent the waste of potentially useful materials and reduce the consumption of fresh raw materials, thereby reducing energy usage, air pollution, and water pollution from landfilling. Example, old glass bottles can be smashed and melted to produce new glass bottles. Papers are produced by old paper mash. Organic fertilizers are produced mainly by biodegradable wastes. The waste can be segregated. The first step of waste management is to segregate it at source. Source means at household level, where it generates. Generally, through household activities, there are two types of waste are produced. One is dry waste, another is wet waste. If both of these wastes are mixed, their segregation becomes difficult and reusing or recycling of these objects cannot be possible. The wet waste should be kept in green bins and the dry waste should be kept in blue bins. Dry waste means waste other than biodegradable waste and in it street sweepings and includes recyclable and non-recyclable waste, combustible waste and sanitary napkin and diapers, etc. So the wet waste, as we see, the skins of fruits and vegetables, eggshell, bones of edible fish and meat, food leftovers, unnecessary papers, paper bags, tea leaves. And the dry waste are the tires, polythene bags, toys, utensils, bottles made by plastics, bottles and other objects made by glass, discarded leather goods like shoes, belts, etc., plastic containers and wrappers for various foods, cans and other metal objects made by tin and aluminium, objects made of cardboard and plastic wrapper of medicine. The workers employed in the work of waste segregation should be trained properly by the municipal authorities. The municipalities must confirm their safety and hygiene by providing them gloves, apron, masks, etc. The dry wastes are not decomposed easily. The bottles of glass and plastic, polythene bags, wooden objects, cardboard boxes are the examples of the dry wastes. And the wet wastes are mainly the kitchen waste that decompose easily. Skin of fruits and vegetables, bones of fish and meat, eggshells, tea leaves are the main examples of the wet waste. The waste collected from different household labels and different generators now should be kept in the intermediate transit station. The intermediate transit station is a small part of an area that is used for storing the different kinds of waste after collecting them from their source. Different types of wastes are kept here separately. The material recovery facility should also be available here. The workers of the intermediate transit station segregate some reusable objects from the wasted items dumped there. These objects can be sold to the authorized buyers from recycling agencies. Thus, the poor scavengers will get an opportunity to make their income. From the intermediate transit station, the reusable items are dispatched for processing. The mixed waste processing facility. The mixed waste processing facility, also referred as MRF, receive mixed solid waste, meaning recyclable and non-recyclable materials unseparated, which is sorted to separate recyclable material that is then processed. The waste matters that cannot be stored in intermediate transit station are used to produce refuse-derived fuel. This fuel is used for heat generation in cement factories. Otherwise, it is used to generate electricity. Biodegradable wastes are used to produce organic fertilizer. These fertilizers can be sold to farmers and fertilizer industries. Organic waste is also used to produce biogas that is used as an important fuel. The technologies for waste processing depend upon the nature, calorific value, quantity, and other indices. Many important actions have been taken by the governments in waste management operations, but every person in our society must take a step to control the waste pollution and save the world. We must be aware of the rules to reduce the waste matters. Let us know what are the rules to be followed. Not to litter, not to throw the waste outside, minimize generation of waste, reuse the waste to extent possible, practice segregation of wastes at the source and keep them in separate containers, practice home composting, vermicomposting, biogas generation or community level composting, wrap securely used sanitary waste as and when generated in the pouches provided by the brand owners or a suitable wrapping as prescribed by the local body and place the same in the bin meant for non-biodegradable waste. Hand over the segregated waste to waste pickers, waste collectors, recyclers, or waste collecting agencies. Let us fight against the crisis of waste to save our society and create a waste-free world.